Hello YouTube, David Dannon, Dannon Yoga. Attempting to add some content to my long neglected little channel here because this one I think is pretty important. This one's going to be about warming up before you do your yoga practice. I think the idea of warming up for physical activity is pretty fundamental and known to be the right thing to do. So why would you need to warm up for your yoga practice? There's a couple of reasons. First of all, yoga classes, there seems to be a trend because people are so busy, they don't have time for shorter yoga classes, so a lot of 1 hour classes. Actually, when I talk about 1 hour classes, they're really 55 minutes usually, and when I talk about 90-minute classes, they're usually 85 minutes, but I'm just going to round them up, okay? So there's not really enough time in a 1 hour class to have a solid beginning, which would normally be the warm-up, a middle, and an end. You're just kind of like whipping through it. And so you don't generally get much of a warm-up. The other and more kind of unfortunate problem is just shitty teaching. For whatever reason. That'll be a subject of another video that I will give. But a lot of times, if you get into a yoga class and you go right into wham bam, and you end up in a posture, and you're going, how the hell did I get here? Meaning physically warmed up or prepared for that, that was bad yoga teaching. That was bad sequencing. It just wasn't happening. So, and there are good teachers that just, out of creativity, out of the desire to be creative, sort of throw that intelligent sequencing out so they can get to their creative part of it. But anyway, so if you can go to yoga class where there's not people coming out of the door while you're going in, that's really a good thing, because if you get to class 10 minutes early, you can pretty much prepare yourself for most of whatever you will encounter. And so I'm going to go through some of that stuff. What I do, if I'm going to go take a yoga class and I know the teacher, and I like the teacher, but I know they don't warm you up. And maybe if you're 20, you don't need to warm up as much as if you're 40, so there's that too. So here's this is my basic thing that I would do before I went and took any yoga class. What I'm trying to do is put my body, warm up all the stuff that I know I'm going to use. What am I going to do? I'm going to do warriors. I'm talking about Vinyasa Flow Yoga here. So I'm going to do warriors. So I know I'm going to need neutral hip openers. I'm probably going to do warrior twos and trikonasas and that kind of stuff. I know I'm going to need external rotations. I know I'm going to want to twist. I know I'm going to forward bend. I want a backward bend. So it's pretty simple, the approach you take. So here's what I would do. What I do. I always start on my back. And I just roll on my spine. And I'm doing a couple of things here. I'm kind of just loosening up and opening up my back a little bit. But really more importantly, what I'm doing, I'm closing my eyes by the way, is I'm finding my spine. I'm bringing my attention onto that part of my body, and the pressure of the mat against my spine makes it very easy for me to draw my attention to it, okay? And the reason I want to do that is because in my yoga practice, what I always am asking myself, the first question I ask myself in any posture is, am I breathing? And if I got that checked off, then I ask myself, what is the position of my spine in space? Because I don't look at yoga postures as up and down and side to side. I look at them as just suspended in space, okay? All right, so I'm also breathing here, starting to work my breath. Inhale and my knees go away. Exhale and my knees come in. And then I'll usually take a happy baby. Because the spine has kind of got the energy moving down it, and now I want to get that energy kind of opened up and moving into my hips. And if I'm flexible or opened up enough, things in the way over here, I might extend my heels away. Just depends on where you're at. Now you don't want to curl up into a ball. You want to keep your tailbone long and down onto the floor. You're always just trying to find the neutral curves of your spine. You don't want to flatten this out and go into an anterior tilt. You don't want to roll it up and go into a posterior tilt. You're looking for the natural curves of the spine. All right, and then you could do a figure four down here if you wanted to, something like this. Depends on, I usually do this. It just depends on what you want. We're going to do a different external when we get sitting up anyway. Something like that. This is opening up this. It feels really good. Nice exhale, let the air come out. Good. Now I'm usually going to come on up into a seated position. There, I just extend my legs out, slide my sit bones back, and I take a forward bend. Now, in the style of yoga that I do and teach, it kind of comes out of Ashtanga Vinyasa flow. So, in that style of yoga, you never do this. You never pull the navel up to the spine. You can drop the chin and round the shoulders a bit, but you don't. You keep this curve where it should be. So, as I work this, it's really a hamstring opener. So I'm just going to lean out, and you might be up here. I like the feet flexed. You might be all the way down here. It doesn't matter. Everybody's got different stuff in their body that they inherited from their genetic thing, their parents or whatever. Okay, come out here. I'll take a Janu Sirsasana. Just a few breaths in each of these, you know. If you're hurting and you have a place where you need to hang out longer, you can hang out longer. On the other side. This is a good thing to do if you're getting ready for your day and you have 10 minutes. If you're getting ready to go for a run or go to the gym or whatever. Good. And then I would take a Baddha Konasana. And face me guys here. Baddha Konasana, I like to do this myself. Elbow on one side, hand on the other to help open it up. If you're up here, you're in a different situation. But if your Baddha Konasana is pretty open, I'll go side to side here. You can hold these longer if you want to too. I'm just kind of going through this. Then we're going to take a double pigeon with the right foot on top. Now, double pigeons can be considered a fairly gnarly posture, right? So this is not like a double pigeon at the end of class. And it might not, you know, that's what it is. Okay, so then I take a twist from here. Now the traditional twist has the leg up here. You can take it like that. Or I like to drop this knee down and stack them up. I find that this preps me for Garudasana as well as get my twist. I really like this twist. It keeps my hip down on the floor. Whereas when that leg is up, it kind of makes that hip want to come up. I'm really kind of squash for space right here. Good, double pigeon on the other side. I wanted to do this at the yoga studio, but the studio room was being used for teacher training. So double pigeon on this side. Just a couple of breaths in each of these, you know, nothing huge. And then taking this across for the twist down. Garudasana prep, if you ever do that class. Some teachers teach, I teach it all the time, some teachers don't teach it at all. Good. You come out of that. And I usually go onto my knees here. Roll back on the tops of my feet. Stretch those out a little bit. Turn them under and stretch out the bottoms of my feet. Take this side to side. Good. Come on out of that. Now, what I would usually do here is probably warm my wrists up a little bit for all the down dogs and stuff that are happening. You want to do this no matter what, because there's just really nobody ever preps your wrists for all that wear and tear that they take when you're doing Vinyasa flow yoga or Ashtanga yoga. Good. Anyway, you get the idea. You can play around with that one, whatever way you want. And I come into a little down dog and just kind of walk it out a little bit there. The head release. But this is really just, I'm going to do a lot of down dogs in the practice. This is just really just a sort of feel. Then I'm going to step this leg up. I'm going to get into a deep lunge. And then I'm going to fold, because if you just do lunges, that's great. That'll open the hips up. But what happens when you straighten that front leg, like to do a pyramid or to do a Parivrtta Trikonasana or something like that? Now you got all this hamstring bringing into play, or if you're going to do a Hanumanasana for sure. So to me, this is just as important as the lunge. And you'll notice I'm not sitting back on my back heel. My hip is up above my knee and I'm just laid out over this leg. I want to really just hammer the hamstring here, okay? And then I can come up from here, maybe take another twist. I don't like a lungy twist here. I like a more neutral twist. And maybe take it down into a pigeon. I keep up right here. I don't want to lay down because I want to open up this hip flexor. Good. Change sides. To the lunge. Fold. I mean, just even doing 4 or 5 of these on each side. If you need to hold it somewhere, of course, you can do that. That's going to help you a lot. To a twist. If you're warmed up enough, you can take it down here, whatever you want to do. Good. Pigeon. Good. Come out of that. Space you guys, and then we can do this. Get into some external stuff here. I haven't done anything yet today, so this is a full-on warm-up for me. Good. And then if you're here and you feel like doing it, you can take it straight down. Do something like that. Some people like to just hang out here. This is a good place. This is good. Okay. A bit of that. And then I'll probably just swing it around. And maybe come to here. Cobras here. You can start lower. You can start like here if you wanted to. Get that length in there. Good. And up on hands and knees. Child's pose. And then the only other thing I might do if I was really feeling it would be to do some shoulder opening, you know, stuff like that. If that's something that you feel like you need. Take it here and just fold forward. You do the standing up too. It's just going to take me out of the camera frame. There you go. So you're pretty much ready for a yoga class if you do that. You don't have to, but I find that you won't end up in a position going, I'm not really ready for this posture. So anyway, there you go. Like it, subscribe. I don't know. You know, I really appreciate people that do really cool looking stuff on YouTube, you know, and edit it with music and editing and all that. It's not really, I don't really have that time to get skilled at that. So it's really about the content. I hope you find good use out of it. Thank you very much, so much. Namaste.